Hey y'all, in today's video I'm going to show you how to create this rustic Halloween wood sign. To start off, you'll just need a piece of wood, white paint, and a paintbrush. We're just going to paint the center of our board with our white paint. You're not going to go all the way to the edges. We're going to leave a little bit of space on the edges because we're going to go back later on and stain that. It doesn't have to be perfect, just let your paint kind of run out as you get to the edges of your board. So this is how mine looks up close, so just something similar to this, doesn't have to be exact. So once your paint dries, you're moving on to staining. So I'm using Minwax Dark Walnut, and you're just going to stain right over that entire board. So all over the edges and all over the paint. And you'll do that until it's completely coated, and then you'll take a clean cloth or any type of rag or anything and just wipe over that to get any excess stain off of the board. And then you should be left with this rustic antique look. So while you let the stain dry, we can go over to our Cricut Design Space and we're going to search up our image that we're going to use for our sign. So if you just go to the search bar and type in Halloween, you'll find a ton of designs up here. I think some of them may be Cricut Access, so if you don't have Cricut Access, you might not have all of these, but it does have a nice variety of designs that you can choose from. And to skim it down more to what I'm looking for, I'm going to type in Halloween houses, and it brings up a bunch of different Halloween houses to choose from as well. So once you find the design that you want to use, you can just click on it and it'll add it right to your project, and then you can just size it to what you need. So once you have that cut out, of course you'll have to weed it, and this one did have a whole lot of tiny pieces, so it did take me a little bit to actually sit here and weed this entire thing, but all of the little pieces stayed, so it worked out in the end. You just have to have a little bit of patience with this. As far as the vinyl that I'm using, I am using regular permanent vinyl. I will link it down below for you guys if you want to check it out. It's just super basic, just something to get the job done. So a little trick that I've found that helps me with like rustic signs or anything that may have a little bit of debris left on it, I usually take a piece of like leftover transfer tape from another project and just kind of stick it onto the sign and just pull it off, and just do that repeatedly just to pull up any type of like sanding or anything that I may have done on the sign so that my vinyl sticks to it better. So this design didn't exactly fit on my piece of wood, but that's okay because we're going with like a dry brushed edge on this sign anyway, so it's going to kind of like fade off of it anyways. And I'm using Waverly chalk paints ink black, so we're just going to have a little bit on the paintbrush, just kind of let the paint run out on the paintbrush. We're not going to be super heavy with it. We want to keep that rustic look where some of the background's kind of showing through, and we're just going to do that process over the entire sign. So some areas will be a little darker, some areas will be lighter, just to give it that rustic look that we're going for. And this also helps with just not having to be super perfect with super clean lines. So now that we have the whole design painted, I'm just going to start removing my stencil, and then just removing all the tiny little pieces of all the little windows and all the little extra little bits. And once you have the complete stencil removed, then we're just going to get rid of that hard edge on the bottom of our stencil and just dry brush that out to try to give it a faded look. And this is how the sign looks once it's complete. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next one.